Hello everybody, welcome back to another game. This is game 2 in the series between Teclis and Thelinearcurve. Score going into this game is 1-0. Thelinearcurve, he had a very favourable matchup. Game 1 ran a rain offense versus Teclis Spikes core, Jolt Spikes core. And Jolt Spikes is notorious for not doing very well versus rain. If you don't have a Blissey or a Milo or something like that, your team is generally in a pretty rough spot versus rain. Even Lax is not the best counter. It's often forced to boom on certain turns, and it's messy. But even worse than that, Teclis had Jolt, so he was not going to be. It was not a fun time for him. Let's see, has Teclis put that behind him? Put that stomp of a game 1 behind him, and kind of refocus his mental, because he will definitely need that versus somebody of Lanier's quality. Lanier, one of the most intimidating players to play against, and getting smashed game 1 cannot be helpful for anyone's morale when facing him. So let's see, does Teclis bring it back here in game 2. So Teclis leading Tar and Lanier also leading Tar. Not too much is known so far. Both could be physical, both could be special. We don't know anything. That's kind of the general consensus when you see Tar on Tar. Generally, the play that is recommended is in Tar on Tar matchups, it's generally to switch out, unless you've got like a speedy brick break Tar, or like a choice band brick break Tar. But it's tough to say. I usually just go for a switch, switch to Scarm, switch to Loom, whatever you have. We'll see what these guys want to do. So Lanier switches out to Flygon. Not sure what he was expecting. Eats a brick break for his troubles. That's doing a decent chunk. Flygon not gaining lefties here, so perhaps a CB gone. Lanier going to double out again. Makes a nice double to Fari on the Scarm. So Lanier making a very intelligent double there. Let's see, does he avail of it? No, Scarm is taunt here. So Fari will be unable to get any spikes up. This is relevant though for Lanier, definitely. Even though he's not getting the spikes up, he knows that Teclis is running a taunt Scarm. So what this means is Teclis probably doesn't have too much spikes control outside of his Scarm. So he's probably running a mixed kind of, generally quite a mixed team. Every mon has a good chance of, or every mon has a way of, chipping down spikers, and in Scarm's case, stopping them from spiking. But probably, Lanier is probably acknowledging that if he gets this Fari in on a Blissey later on, or a bulky water later on, he's going to get a spike for free, and that it's unlikely that Teclis has a spinner based on Scarm being taunt here. So it's definitely relevant information. Lanier spins it off here, stays in, probably to end the taunt turn here, and then switches out intelligently on the mandatory taunt turn here for Teclis. He could have spiked there on that turn, predicting Lanier to switch, but it's just kind of back-breaking if you get that wrong. So Lanier makes a nice little kind of prediction game there, showing his experience. Does 43 here with a focus punch, so it could easily be a physical Tar. Scarm actually reveals HP ground, so that's probably, a special variant. If Tar was physical, that focus punch would have done way more, because Scarm was YOLO Scarm, 252 Scarm, max attack, max speed. The reason why we know it's YOLO Scarm is because it used hidden power ground there and did a decent chunk. So the focus punch damage was kind of telling then to Teclis that it was a special variant. So he couldn't really afford to, see, he's got Loom, so he couldn't really afford to switch out to Loom there, because he was fearing maybe a Fire Blast, because he knew that the Tar was special. So we'll see now. This is an interesting turn, actually. I'm going to pause again, because Lanier is running a balanced team with Flygon. Those teams are often very Loom weak. It's easy to be Loom weak when you're running these kind of spike balanced teams with Flygon. Fighter weak in general, Hera, Loom, whatever, insert whatever here, Metacham. Lanier stays in here on the Spore. If Teclis had gone for a Sky Uppercut there, presuming he has it, that would have been devastating. Now he's going to Focus Punch on the switch. Does Linear have a counter? He has Gar. So Gar completely hardwalls most looms these days. Most looms are kind of like all fighting attacks these days, whereas in the past they used to have like Leech Seed or Ghost, HP Ghost, if they didn't have great pursuiters. But we're going to see how Linear punishes the loom here. Will-O-Wisps into a Blissey, does not hit, so Teclis seems to be running some sort of loom spikes balance team. And now Linear goes out to Rachi, so if he's going out to Rachi, it's almost definitely got Wish here. That's the only way it's going to be Blissey. Teclis goes out to Meta. So now we know the full team for Teclis. He's running an Astamatitos team. Astamatitos brought this throughout the duration of Advanced Cup. I think he built it for Advanced Cup, or like maybe a little bit before. I don't know if Teclis is running the exact sets that Asta ran, but Asta had Snatch on Blissey, and then a Pursuit meta, like a special meta with Pursuit. I don't know what the Zard set is. I think it could be either 4 attacks or sub 3 attacks. And the Loom, I think, is 3 attacks, Sky Uppercut and Mach Punch. Mach Punch is really nice with Pursuit meta because if you get Dougie trapped, you can Mach Punch Dougie and then Pursuit it on the way out because it's locked into Aerial Ace. So it's a really nice bit of synergy there. Teclis is going to Wish here on the meta, but Zard comes in. So now we're going to see how Zard punishes Rachi. Rachi might be able to get a free turn here because of the Wish. Does, and Body Slams. Does he get the 60% power? He does not. Now that is relevant. That's pretty unlucky for Linear. Obviously it's a 70%. It's not or it's a 60%, sorry. It's not confirmed. It's not can't expect it to power by any means, but he's definitely going to feel a little bit indignant by that not paralyzing. That would have been huge if Zard was powered. It looks as though it would have been next to useless if it was powered. So Kuhn does come in here. We're going to see the last for Linear. Kuhn makes sense because the team seems like a water would just kind of like an offensive Purd or something like that would just clean it up otherwise, yeah, it seems very offensive Purd weak, so I was expecting a water of some kind in that last slot there. Teclis does just go straight out to Blissey here, and Linear switches around that, predicting Teclis to switch out. No way he's staying in with Zard on a potential Hydro or whatever. And gets Rachi back in here, so he seems to think that Rachi has a way of pushing the initiative here. Wish and Body Slam so far, so perhaps an As to Rachi. Hard to tell just yet. Goes for a Fire Punch, so that would make sense if it was. Does get the burn, but Teclis running Lumberry here, so if it's Brick Break with Lumberry and Brick Break was doing that much to flag on, I'd wager it's a UD tar. The UD set is like Fire Blast, HP Grass, Ice Beam, Brick Break. The set, you don't have to run that exact move set, but that's the most common one, and it usually sits at about max plus speed, so Naive Nature, I think, or I don't know. It's either it's usually plus speed minus defense or plus speed minus spit F. Usually minus defense because you don't live doggy anyway. So Zard fires off a Fire Blast here. I don't know about that play. Rachi definitely doesn't take that much from Fire Blast if it's not like modest, and you can just keep wishing around it. Astarachi can completely wish stall mixed tar, so even mixed ments. Hidden Power flying here, or Hidden Power fighting rather, does 67, so not an Astarachi, some form of mixed Rachi, and that makes sense why he has this Suicune now, because again Swampert just runs through this set. I mean, look, Wish, Body Slam, Fire Punch, Hidden Power fighting does nothing versus Swampert. Linear is going to fire back a 42% Fire Blast here, but does lose its tar for the troubles. So Zard comes out here on Jirachi. Shiny Zard is so cool. It's one of the best sprites in Advanced. Ooh. And Teclis makes a really nice prediction. Dragon Claw there does not quite pick up the KO. It does 65. If this is a speed tie, that wasn't really that relevant. It's definitely relevant because Now Gone can be pursued by meta later on in the game. It pretty much on its deathbed now. But we also learned that this Zard is probably not sub. It's probably that set Teclis has been using quite a lot that he really likes for attacks. So instead of using sub, he's running Declaw for Mence and for Flygon and whatnot. And just for mid-grounds, I suppose. Not that it does that much, but guess the neutral damage into certain things isn't terrible. So are we going to see Teclis risk the speed tie here? Or are we going to see him switch out into perhaps Loom, something that Flygon can't do too much damage to? Teclis actually goes hard in meta here, and we see a Gust from Lanier, so Teclis getting Teclis making a really nice prediction there. Gust would have completely blown back Loom. It's pretty much entirely just used for Hera and Loom. So meta is probably going to be able to get the pursuit off here. And that Gone goes down, so huge play for Teclis. Gets the better end of the prediction. Really nice play for him. And the spike is still up too. So really, he's in a really commanding position right now. This meta looks to just wall the entirety of Lanier's team. Beats Gar, does a lot to Kuhn with Psych. I'd imagine beats Tar and Fari. It's a huge threat right now. Lanier B-slams into the Blissey here, does 18. And he does have hidden power fighting as well, so Teclis has to be careful. Switches out to Zard now on a Wish turn, so really nice play for Teclis. I don't know how much he did earlier, but I'm pretty sure Rachi's still in range there, so he's got to switch out. Teclis makes a really nice play here. Grasses into the Kuhn for 30%. Kuhn gets that health back. Teclis not happy to give Lanier any free turns. That Kuhn would have gone up to 100 if he'd come in on a Fire Blast. Fires off a Surf here into Bliss. Yeah, so to be honest, Bliss looks like it kind of walls the team as well. You can't switch Rachi into it. You definitely can't keep Kuhn in on Bliss. It's probably, I don't know what set it is, but I'm pretty sure it's, I mean, it probably has Ice Beam. I mean, look at the team. Very weak to Mence, so it's probably got Ice Beam. It could easily be Surf. It could be CM, Surf, Ice Beam, Rest. I see how Blissey punishes Kuhn here. What does he do? He goes for an S-toss, so Lanier going to be able to get off his spin here, presumably, and get rid of that spike. This is going to be huge, because up until now, Teclis has been getting, or Lanier's been getting punished really badly, even for getting predictions right by switching into certain things. Rachi can never really get out of Zard's range when it's coming in at 71. Kuhn not getting back up to full health. The spike is doing a lot of damage. Teclis probably going to be able to get rid of it right now. Spins into the Zard here. Bit of chip as well. Alright, so now it becomes like a prediction war. If Teclis goes Kuhn on a HP Grass, he doesn't actually lose the Kuhn, but it's still backbreaking. It puts Teclis in a much better position. But that spin definitely changes the game here. Because to me it looks as though the Rachi kind of wins. It beats mixed meta with Wish. It can definitely power hacks Blissey down and hidden power flying it. And it beats the Braylon 1v1 because Braylon will be forced to go for a Sky Uppercut. It won't be able to do much damage to the Rachi. So the Rachi looks to be winning pretty much. And Zard can never really switch in on a Wish turn or a B-Slam turn, because if you switch in a B-Slam, you might get parried and then you're useless. If you switch in on a Wish, well, the Wish damage is kind of negating the damage you do. So this is really a tough spot for Teclis now. Goes for hidden power, gets it wrong, and is Lanier going to punish him? He does. Wow, that might be a turning point. Teclis had to get a number of predictions right from this spot, and he starts off horrendously by losing the Zard. Rachi in a fantastic position now, probably going to be really oppressive here. Teclis has no good switch, so he's probably just going to be forced to give up the Loom here. Switches out to Bliss. I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to do it. Yeah, Power Blissy, now it's going to get Hidden Power Fighting and broken down. We'll see how much this does. Lanier goes for a Wish. Bliss is paralyzed. This is where the hacks are going to start to come in. Hidden Power Fighting, 29. And a toxic misprediction from Teclis, perhaps predicting the Coon to come in there. But this is all but over. Getting through that Rachi would be nearly impossible at this point. Bliss gets hacks down, and there's no real way he can pressure it too much with Braylim. That is Adamant Sky Uppercut based on the damage. Fire Punch comes out 63. Teclis going to need a crit here if he wants to stay in this game. Lanier makes a nice double, doesn't want to risk that, doesn't see it as an important, doesn't see it as a necessary risk to take. Focus Punch here from Teclis predicting a switch, but no, he's in a rough spot. Lanier has no reason to switch there, and it seems as though that Zard prediction has put Teclis in a position here where he is pretty much doomed and damned. Gar goes for another T-ball here, gets rid of the Loom, and that might just be it. It is technically possible for Meta to bring this one back, but he is going to definitely need to hacks down the Coon if he's going to do that. Does get a Wisp Miss here and Psychics into the Gar, so nice play for Teclis, nice turn for him, but it seems as though this game is probably beyond his reach at this point. Meta doing 30 with Hidden Power, and Rachi just going to be able to wish up right on it, stall it out. Can he get a crit here? He does not, and that might just be it. Lanier powers it, attempts to power it, does get the power, and now his Rachi's going to be faster and going to be able to 3-hit KO here with Fire Punch, presumably. Going to keep wishing up and just making sure he gets a 100% victory here. Yeah, so that's really rough for Teclis. He was making some really nice predictions earlier. He made a really nice prediction on the meta, or Flygon was in on, I think it was it Zard, and he went meta and actually pursued the Gon and got rid of it. So he was definitely getting the better end of Lanier in certain turns. Perhaps if he had Sky Uppercutted the tower earlier and then slapped something else, he would have been in a way better spot. This game could have gone differently. It was not unwinnable by any means, but Lanier seemed to have a lot of... He had a big margin for error here. He could have made it. He was able to afford a couple of mistakes and still bring this one back. The mixed core that the Teclis was running, I suppose it was kind of a couple of mix mons here, completely walled by Jirachi. Jirachi walled nearly everything on Teclis team. This really cool Rachi set Lanier's running, he got absolutely rewarded for it. I think Roro runs a similar set. Zard was pretty much the only way of getting through that Rachi, and Teclis needed to make a million predictions to get it right. I think that once that spin came out from Fortress, Teclis was in a really rough spot because Lanier could keep switching Rachi in and out at the opportune times and just doing all the damage he needed to do. Also, this Coon was just gonna win as well. So rough spot for Teclis, but I thought he played it well. Obviously, the prediction on the Fortress didn't help, but he was in a position there where he needed to get some predictions right to win anyway. So why not Hidden Power Grass the Coon? He could have also doubled to meta there on the Fortress, kind of to get the mid ground between Boom and maybe a Coon turn, going to Coon. But it's tough to say. I mean, the spin really is where Lanier kind of jumped ahead there. Teclis needed to get a number of predictions right there at the end to win, and Lanier wasn't having any of it. That boom from Fortress, I mean, if Fortress had gone down, it wouldn't have been too catastrophic for Lanier, honestly. He still had a good chance of winning, so Teclis definitely needed to get a lot of predictions right, and it just, didn't go his way. He got a number right already, but you can't keep out predicting Lanier. Going head to head in a prediction war versus Lanier on a turn by turn basis is just suicide. So congratulations to Lanier. The favourite did win today. Teclis is going to go to the losers bracket. I'm very interested by the teams he's using. He's using some fun teams, and I can't wait to see his next series. He's using a lot of Zard specifically. And Lanier is going to go to the winning bracket, where he will join Astamatitos and the likes of. So hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you again in the next one.